Hey everybody, this is Miss Florida Hot Picks here. Wanted to give you guys an update for Pick 3 Florida, my home state. This could be an excellent strategy if you're trying to chase double hits, right? Now I'm going to forewarn you, this is for entertainment purposes only, as I cannot guarantee hits on the channel. However, I hope this is helpful for you guys, and I hope that you're backtracking and keeping a daily chart of what's going on in your states. Why? Because this is how we miss hits. All the information is in these numbers, it's in the data, so we have to pay attention to it. So I'm using the 317 rundown, and there's just a couple of key things that you're going to pay attention to. Okay, the first thing is I'm going to take you to October 27th. There was a hit of 332. I'm using the 317 rundowns, as I stated earlier. And just in case you're kind of confused on how to put these together, they're very simple. You're going to add each of these numbers down the columns, okay? So for the first column, we would add 3 all the way down. So 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 3 is 9, 9 plus 3 is 12. For our 2-digit numbers, only use our ones place our 2, okay? 2 plus 3 is 5, 5 plus 3 is 8, 8 plus 3 is 11, use your 1. 1 plus 3 is 4, 4 plus 3 is 7, 7 plus 3 is 10, just use the 0, 0 plus 3 is 3, okay? So with that, once you complete the first column, you're simply going to add 1 all the way down the second column, 7 all the way down the third column. So we started off with 332, we should end up with 332. And that's how we put our rundowns together. I like using rundowns. They're my favorite methods on how, I like to track patterns. They're not the only ways, and there's not one way to look at these rundowns, okay? One thing I notice about key digit numbers, like the number 2 and 7, pay attention to that. So we're going to talk about key digit numbers. And for Florida, I'm liking 2 and 7. There are others, okay? Some people like 0s and 5s, but I'm just noticing something with doubles, especially if they're on the right side. I'm not saying they won't be on the left side, so just study those. You notice the end of the 3-3, right behind there's the number 2, okay? Now, key digit numbers are really cool because they could be telling you what could be hot. What pairs could be hot, whether they're a double pair or some other sort, but especially because we're talking about doubles. I notice when there's a 2 behind those doubles, sometimes they'll be in the hit, sometimes you have to kind of search within the rundowns, okay? They won't always be noticeable, that's why you have to keep a track. But this 332, that 2 was telling me that 3-3 pair could be coming back to Florida. Okay, it told me it was coming back. Now, didn't know what number that could play with it, but pay attention. So you got this 3, 3, 2 here, and there's a few numbers surrounding it. There's a 334, a 336, a 339. You may want to go above a 330, 332, maybe even that 335. Anything that touches those doubles could be possibilities, right? Could be. But I want to show you something. Pay attention to when these doubles could come back. Sometimes they'll be moved to the other side, or they'll just be be partnered with another number, okay? So I want you to pay attention to this. This is why I said you have to keep a daily log. Notice this 3-3. When you look at the 188, you see the 3-3 here. You have to go through the rundown. Now here it shifted to the right side and it has a whole nother digit. Still pay attention. Why? Because the key digit 2 or 7 or its mirror 7 could be telling you something, okay? So we have that here. It copied itself. One thing I noticed, pay attention to when you see your double that you're looking for. Pay attention to triples. Why? The triples can lock in, possibly, let me repeat that, the triples or false triples could possibly lock in a number. Let's make sure you guys know what your mirror number is so you know what to look for. Okay, when we're talking about mirror numbers, we're saying numbers like 0 could be a 5 or 5 could be a 0. A 1 could be a 6, 6 could be a 1. A 2 can be a 7, 7 could be a 2. A 3 could be an 8, 8 could be a 3. A 4 could be a 9, and a 9 could be a 4. So pay close attention to that, guys. Okay, those are your mirror numbers. Okay, and then of course your key digits are very important. Okay, now I want to show you something. Okay, remember we were saying that we can literally lock in all those numbers surrounding it. So I'm going to make just a quick list of what that will look like. 332, perhaps 330, 335. If we're looking on the lower levels, 336, 334, 339. All right, so those could be some possibilities, right? Those could be possible. Now, when you notice it here, it comes back. That's a sign telling you better pay attention. Those doubles could be coming within the next day, okay? When you see them with the 2 and they spring back up on you, pay attention. So notice here, this is what I'm telling you about triples and mirrors. You notice here there's a 0, 5, 5 that's diagonal. Okay, is right around that, right around these doubles. Okay, now 0s and 5s, we just said those are mirror numbers. This is why this is a false triple. Some people that don't study mirror numbers would totally miss this. Notice how the 334 is cornered right where those triples are literally holding that digit, telling you better pay attention to me. Okay, so 334. Now watch this. This hit as 433 the next day, October 28th evening. So whenever you think there's going to be a hot double, pay attention to key digits. Some states may be different numbers. They could be 0s and 5s. Okay, other key digits could be 0s, 5s. I've seen some 4s and 9s. Just depends on what's going on. Okay, so as you see here, we saw 3-3, 3-3. It was sandwiched right where those false triples are, and we happen to have the 3-3-4 there. So this could be one way that you may want to eliminate numbers if you don't want to play so many. But I want you to play on paper first, and then I want you to see, if you're spot on, you feel comfortable, you play. All right? Okay. So that was one. I got another one. I got to show you 2s, okay? Let's go to October 28th. There was a hit of 180 for midday. And I noticed just looking through the rundown, you're not going to always see them where the hit is, right? But if you notice, this is why you need to know what your mirrors are. 4 and 9, right? 4 and 9, 9 and 4, same number. They're just opposite of each other. And it happened to have a 2 on the right side of it. I said, Now, could these 2s move to the left and maybe doubles? You'll have to find out. So just pay attention and study, okay? So I saw the 2. I said, there's a possibility that this 9-4 could play with one of these numbers surrounding it. So if I was to do that, maybe 9-4-2, 9-4-5, 9-4-9, 9-4-5 again, 9-4-3, and 9-4-6. Okay, just giving a few numbers, right? Those could be possible. Well, this 9-4 came again. It came up again, but this time it had a different digit in front of it. But there were triples and false triples flying all the way around there. We have a 333 and we have a 550. See how that is? I noticed it could have went a couple ways. I'm looking at that 942. You see how that 550 blocks in that? And then 946. So I would have really put like a star by that 942 and 946. I would have said, hold the phone. What? You know, I would have really been looking at those two numbers. The reason why is I noticed they like to be in some kind of like L shape, 7 shape, right? Or backwards 7, however that is. And I noticed there's triples or false triples blocking the 3rd number. Just something I noticed, right? Well, again, my thing would have been that 942, 946. Okay. Well, what actually played October 30th evening? 942. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. So when people say, you know, oh, mirrors ain't about nothing, lies. They say, oh, triples ain't about nothing, lies. Depends on what your state is throwing out, but make sure this is how you start to track patterns, okay? So they did it with the doubles. They did it again with the mirrors. Go back and backtrack to see if you see other examples to help you out. They may want to change how those 3rd numbers are. That's okay. They may even want to switch key digits. They may want to use 7s, okay? Or maybe 0s or 5s. So pay attention to what they're throwing off at you. Okay, Florida? I hope this helps us a great deal. I saw a couple of doubles that had the 2, that had the 2, but I didn't know what to do with that. So I said, I'm still waiting on them. So let me know in the comments if you happen to see that. But that was it, guys. I hope that this was helpful, and I will see you guys on the next video.